Hi everyone, welcome back. So it's been a little while since I've been in front of the camera. I had a go at making a few factual voiceover style videos, because I thought, you know what? I can experiment with my YouTube channel. I'm not like other YouTubers, you know, my videos don't have to fall into a specific category. I don't exactly have what you'd call a style or good videos, and I enjoyed making those videos. But according to my YouTube analytics, they didn't exactly do too well. But you know what did do well on this channel? iCarly. You know, I might make more voiceover videos in the future, but for now I want to take another look at iCarly, because there's another episode of the Nickelodeon show that I really want to talk about. iCarly's no stranger to weird and really in-your-face celebrity cameos. One of the very first episodes features a plotline involving the Plain White T's. Jack Black's been on it, so has Jim Parsons. Michelle Obama was on iCarly. Of course, I've already made a video about the time that Fred was on iCarly. And when I made that video, I thought that that must be the most egregious celebrity cameo on the show. But I was wrong. I was really wrong. Because in the show's 6th and final season, the international powerhouse that is iCarly wanted to flex its muscle as the most successful Nickelodeon sitcom of all time by bringing on the show's biggest celebrities yet. Bigger than the Plain White T's, bigger than Michelle Obama, even bigger than Fred. I am, of course, talking about the biggest stars of 2012. No, not those weird mascot things from the Olympics. What even are those? They're like shapes or something. No, I'm talking about One Direction. Now, I had long since stopped watching the show by the time this episode aired, so it never even came to my mind when I was writing the Fred video. But after finding out that One Direction guest starred in an episode of iCarly, the first thing that came into my mind was, that episode sounds weird. I bet that was really weird. And so to find out if I was right, I decided to watch the second episode of the 6th season of iCarly, I Go One Direction. And yeah, it was pretty weird. So the episode starts with Carly and Spencer coming back from vacation, and Carly is really sick with a disease called jungle worm, which kind of sounds like something your pet might get, which makes me wonder what exactly Carly was doing on vacation. The doctor visits later and tells her that while she's now mostly fine, she might still be a little contagious, which I'm sure will be fine and have no effect on the rest of the episode. Then Freddy comes over with his gigantic pear pad to deliver some big news. On a side note, I always found the tech in the Nickelodeon sitcom universe so ridiculous. Everything is pear something. Pear pad, pear phone, pear book. Obviously the joke is that it's based on, you know, that other well-known fruit-based tech company, BlackBerry. But how exactly are you supposed to use those things? Is the screen really small? Or does it just like crop everything to be pear-shaped? Also, how is the pear phone supposed to fit into your pocket? Anyway, I think I'm getting a bit too distracted by fruit-based technology. Freddy tells the group that the one and only boy band sensation One Direction are in town later that week and are interested in performing on iCarly. And everyone's really excited, especially Gibby, who's really excited. This again brings up a question I raised in the Fred video about what the popularity of iCarly really is. It's fairly easy to accept that they could get Fred on their web show, considering he's also an internet celebrity, but One Direction were really popular in 2012. What sort of booking power does iCarly have when they can convince the biggest boy band in the world to come on their Twitch live stream? Maybe iCarly has some serious blackmail material on One Direction. You know, somebody recorded a video of Harry Styles kicking a puppy or something.
And they would love to appear on iCarly and perform a song. Sounds good.
You know, I think Gibby is actually one of the better parts of this episode. In later seasons of the show, he became a series regular and eventually a member of the main group. And being the ridiculous and wacky character that he is, has some of the best lines and moments. I haven't seen a lot of the later seasons of iCarly, but from the ones I have seen, it seems that Gibby is there to do a lot of the goofy character stuff that was previously done by Spencer in the early seasons, with Spencer now existing almost entirely in the B story. This time, Spencer's B story is about him getting an exercise machine, and telling this woman he likes that he's a personal trainer in the hopes that he can get her to spend some time with him. But she sends her annoying daughter instead, who causes all sorts of wacky Nickelodeon problems. I'm really not a fan of this B story, because it pretty much has no interaction with the main plotline. The Magic Meatball storyline from the Fred episode, for example, has at least some relevance to what's happening in the rest of the episode. But in this one, it almost feels like Spencer's existing in his own separate TV show. In my Fred video, I criticised the Magic Meatball storyline for ending really abruptly, like they didn't really put that much thought into it. And in this one, it seems like the writers know that they're not putting much thought into it, because they literally reference that in the episode.
Our story can't just end like this! solution?
Back to the main plot. Carly and Freddie are waiting in the iCarly studio for One Direction to show up to a rehearsal, which I think must be the only time I've seen them rehearse for iCarly on the show, so maybe they just don't have high hopes for One Direction. Carly mentions that Freddie can't drink the water from her water bottle because she might still be contagious with jungle worm. Sam and Gibby show up, and then finally we see One Direction for the first time. There's no grand entrance or any sort of introduction, really. It just cuts and, hey, there they are. Usually you'd expect a sitcom to really milk the first entrance of a major guest star, especially a sitcom like iCarly. That, coupled with the fact that One Direction only make their first appearance 9 minutes into the episode, makes me think that they probably didn't have that much time to film with them, so they just had to cobble together an episode from the footage that they managed to get. And according to the iCarly wiki, One Direction were only there for 1 day, so it's pretty reasonable to assume that the episode might be kind of rushed. Carly, Sam and Freddie then go downstairs to get something called British sandwiches.
What are British sandwiches?
And that leaves One Direction unattended with Carly's water bottle. Well, okay, I guess Gibby's there too. Also, I like how One Direction seem to move around as a collective group for basically the entire episode. It makes me think that maybe the script treated them as if they were one person. You know, like One Direction does this or One Direction does that. Like they were some sort of hive mind.
Is there any water around here?
Oh no, he's not gonna...
Over there.
Harry, no, that water's not safe. Harry, stop. Also, that's very clearly someone else's water bottle. Does One Direction just go around drinking from other people's water bottles? Now I know why they broke up. So Harry then becomes very sick with jungle worms, making him unable to perform that evening, putting the whole show in danger. Because, you know, they couldn't possibly just perform with like 4 members this one time. I bet if it was Liam, they would just perform anyway. And then Carly calls the same doctor from earlier to check on him.
Is he better?
I think so. Or maybe not. How long has he been lying here sick?
Almost a week.
Okay. Wait a minute. So Harry's been there for a week now? So we seem to have jumped forward in time by like a week. But when Harry got sick, the web show was supposed to take place that evening. So I guess that means they had to cancel iCarly that week. But then One Direction just hung around in Seattle? And more specifically, Harry, instead of staying in a hotel or, you know, a hospital, stayed in Carly's bed for a week. Where did Carly sleep? Did Carly sleep with him? What's going on here, Carly? Another thing I noticed is out of the 4 Nickelodeon episodes I've watched on this channel, 3 of them involve a doctor coming over to visit. And in all 3 of them, the doctor is really useless and then asks for money. So come on, Dan, Schneidi, if I may. What's the problem with doctors, man? Did you have a bad experience with one? Because it seems like every time a doctor's in a Dan Schneider show, they're the biggest moron imaginable. The doctor says that Harry should be better by now, but he's still acting sick. He's also being really demanding to Carly, asking her to do everything for him. And Carly does it because she's drawn in by his stupid boy band hair and his stupid boy band eyes. The iCarly gang and the rest of One Direction then meet to discuss what to do about Harry. They suspect that he's faking his illness because Carly's waiting on him hand and foot, and so they hatch a plan to get him to stop. While they're all discussing ways to get Harry to stop faking being sick, Freddie comes up with an idea to pretend to replace him in the group. But who could they get that would know enough about One Direction to be a good replacement? What about their #1 fan? And you know who that is?
No, you don't know you're beautiful.
Okay, I actually think Gibby is pretty funny in this episode. But the plan works. Harry decides that he's suddenly not sick anymore, because he can't stand to see Gibby sing or dance any longer. And after a week's delay, One Direction are set to finally perform on iCarly. Sorry, Gibby. The episode closes out with a performance of What Makes You Beautiful, which I can't play on YouTube for copyright reasons. They even replay it in the credits. You know, in case you missed it 5 seconds earlier. And that's the end of iCarly, I Go, One Direction. Celebrity guest episodes of any show are always a bit weird. It's clear that the whole motivation behind them is just to get more eyes on your TV show, so that people who like that celebrity but don't watch your show maybe tune in for a week and possibly stick around afterwards. And I find that episodes of shows that are exclusively based around that cameo end up sacrificing a lot of the story as a result and are never very good. I think the best way to do a guest episode is to try and integrate that guest into the world. Rather than having them play their real world self, maybe have them play a caricature of themselves, or even some completely different character. I think some of the best guest episodes and celebrity cameos on TV are from some of the early seasons of The Simpsons. Episodes where the celebrity is poking fun at themselves, like Homer at the bat, or ones where the celebrity is playing a character that actually serves the story, like Danny DeVito in Oh Brother Where Art Thou. And some of the worst cameos on TV are episodes where the celebrity just exists to promote themselves, or show everyone how cool they are, like some of the later seasons of The Simpsons. And One Direction probably falls into that second category. They're more there to promote themselves rather than actually play a role in the show, and I think that's why I don't really like this episode. That being said, I guess Harry Styles does sort of play a role in the plot, considering the core of the episode centers around him getting sick, but also not really. And as for the others, really what do they do? Apart from just exist. Overall, it's difficult to say whether this is better or worse than the Fred episode. One Direction actually do fit into the plot more than Fred did, but I think I just like the Fred episode more. It's a lot more fun. Lucas Cruikshank is playing more of a character than any of the One Direction guys are. This episode probably would have worked better if it was just a Harry Styles episode, but of course that would have never happened because all this episode is about showing off One Direction to the legion of screaming fans. It's funny how even in the moment you can often tell which members of a boy band will still be famous once it's all over. Sorry, Louis. But that was my look back at the time that One Direction was in an episode of iCarly. I really enjoyed doing another in front of camera video, and I hope that you've enjoyed it too. If there's another strange TV episode, or anything else for that matter that you'd like me to cover next, please let me know. But for now, if you've liked the video, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.